Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining and welcome back to Wall Street Silver. Our guest today is my great friend, Mark Yaxley. He is the managing director at Strategic Wealth Preservation. Welcome back, sir.
Hey, Ivan, good to see you again.
Yeah, it's great to see you. It's great to have you on Wall Street Silver. I wanted to talk to you about everything happening in the gold, silver, precious metals markets. What an exciting time right now for gold and silver as well. It's hitting new records. What are you seeing with gold right now? Where is it going to take us?
Yeah, you've already seen an uplift in the silver market. Silver was up over $30 an ounce for the first time in about 5 weeks off of the latest news. Also reading that, analysts expect the white metals, so also platinum and palladium metals to see a positive effect. You're seeing some weakening in the US dollar. That's a big one. Like we
Yeah.
haven't talked about the US dollar the last couple times. It's down. The index is down about 3.5% in the last 30 days. And all those assets are priced in US dollars. So you've got a weaker, softer US dollar means those asset prices per ounce are really naturally going to be higher. So, good times ahead potentially for the industrial metals like silver, platinum, and palladium.
Do you think that's what's happening? They're sniffing out, a Fed rate cut coming up here soon, or I don't know if it'll be after the elections or before the elections. But do you think that's why the U.S. dollar slowly and gradually declining over this month?
Yeah, you probably can expect as the rate cuts begin, you can expect a declining US dollar. It's still about 5% above its historical mean. So, if it works its way back to the historical mean as the Fed goes through their rate cut cycle, then you're looking at asset prices again priced in USD, more than likely going to be adjusted by about 5% to the upside. So that's not the ceiling for silver. We can still, I think we've talked about silver at $35, $38 an ounce
Oh
realistically
yeah.
by the end of the year. So still a lot of upside for silver, and gold's going to drag it along. And right now the story for gold is quite positive, frankly.
Yeah, of course. And who knows what the real numbers are? Nobody knows what the real numbers are to inflation. Everything is underreported. Maybe the real price of silver and gold is not what we think it to be?
Yeah, it's a good point. I was just reading before the interview that the U.S. Department of Labor adjusted the employment numbers for the last 12 months. So they report the numbers, and that has a big impact on the market and the market's performance in the short term. And then they adjusted it to the downside by nearly 1 million jobs. So they basically over-reported the numbers. So to your point, it's really hard, to trust the sources and know what the real numbers are.
There's about $15 trillion worth of physical gold in the world sitting there costing money rather than being used. Is just absolutely insane. Monetary Metals is bringing gold back into the financial world, putting gold to productive use right now. The problem with gold, of course, in physical form is that it's heavy, it's cumbersome, it's not particularly easy to ship, and it costs money to store in a protected manner. This platform Monetary Metals created is a proven concept and allows gold to be put to productive use. So instead of sitting there costing you money, it's actually in use earning you money.
Learn how you can earn 2 to 5% in our leasing program and how accredited investors can earn up to 12% on silver paid in silver. This advertisement is not investment or financial advice. Minimum investment applies.
Yeah, imagine if we did know what the real numbers were for inflation, jobs report, and the stock market, silver, gold. Oh, I think it'd be crazy.
Well, I think you and I would be, you would certainly be doing a lot more of these interviews. You'd have 24/7 Fox News coverage of the markets. I mean, it would be a little bit easier to talk about instead of speculating like we have to sometimes.
Right. Do you think gold and silver will get to a level where Bitcoin and cryptos have with the youth?
Oh man, such a good question. I was just
Mhm.
thinking about that yesterday. It's funny. I do some of my best thinking when I'm cooking, and I was thinking about I was like, what is it? What is it with Bitcoin that where you get so much hype and so much energy behind it, and gold on the other hand is like this slow burn. To answer your question, frankly, I don't think gold has a fair chance of becoming as popular with young people. Although numbers do show that more young people under the age of 35 are investing in gold now than they were 10 years ago. So there has been a group of people that have moved back into gold, I think because they've just gotten burned, maybe sometimes in crypto, but more likely getting burned in the financial crises that they've seen over the last decade, especially with COVID. They're looking for sound money. They're looking for more certainty. And gold, look, man, it's not a bad return. Gold's up like 20% in the last 12 months. So if you're okay with a little bit less aggressive returns, gold is a good play. But to answer your question, I don't think it will ever catch fire like Bitcoin. has.
And it could be the reason of like generational programming of like kids being so digital on phones. So when they get that digital NFT or when they get that digital crypto, like that token in their digital wallet, they're like, boom, that's just how they were programmed.
Yeah, and the only counter argument I'd have, Ivan, and I know you know this, but like put a 1 ounce gold maple leaf in someone's hand
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
see the excitement. I don't care how old they are, they're just automatically going to light up, or better
Yeah.
yet, a 10 bar or a kilobar versus a couple of digits on my phone. I own both, but I'd get more excited about the gold personally.
Oh yeah, 100%. You show someone like some fine silver 0.999 and they're
Oh yeah.
looking at that it looks incredible. Yeah, I just wondering when in the future we'll ever get to a point or if we'll ever get to a point where, because I don't think the mainstream media or banks or any type of mass corporation will ever push gold and silver like the way they will for digital, right?
Well, I mean, I hear you, and I don't think you can fight the trend of technology and, like you said, kind of the digital adaptation of products and phones, and our whole world is just
Right,
we're doing it right now. We're using that technology to deliver this right now. But
right.
if you look at like Costco, Walmart, Amazon, these are all huge retailers that give people access to gold and silver every day. I don't think you can buy Bitcoin at any of those retailers.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. That's a great point.
Yeah, so there are sources. I think it's just like if you and I are having a dinner table conversation and we're talking about, our investments and what we own, like I'm much more likely to tell you about my Bitcoin investment than I am to tell you about my gold investment.
That's
And I don't
true.
know why that is necessarily, but gold's a little bit more hush hush, I think.
Right,
Than
right. Yeah,
yeah.
no, such a great point, Mark. What do you guys do exactly for our new viewers and for anyone watching online? What do you guys do at Strategic Wealth Preservation? What do you guys offer?
Yeah, so we're a precious metals retailer and a company that offers secure storage. We have 11 locations in strategic jurisdictions worldwide. Cayman is our head office, so all of our client information and transactions flow through the Cayman office, which offers a little bit more privacy and confidentiality than certain jurisdictions. But we also offer delivery and storage in Canada, the US, Zurich, Singapore, all the way down into New Zealand. And we also as a dealer, we make a two-way market, which means we sell physical metal, we buy physical metal. That's basically what we do. Pretty straightforward, actually.
That's super cool, super cool. So tomorrow, if I wanted to order something, I can get it right from there to Canada.
Absolutely, yeah. We do
That's cool.
drop ship to Canada, and we also store in Calgary and Toronto in Canada
Oh,
as well.
cool, cool. Yeah, it's such interesting times, Mark. People said like, I had a few guests on this week and they were saying, a year ago, if you would have said gold is going to hit 2,500 or whatever it's going to hit, or whatever the number is, they would think, that's kind of a little crazy, but look at it now. So where do you think now from the next 6 months? What's your gold prediction?
Yeah, I feel that, I've been in this industry. I was just thinking before we came out, it started at $600. Well, I started, it was $600 an ounce back in 2006. It's now 2,500 plus.
And
So
that's not long ago. 2006 is not too long
it's
ago.
not that long ago. Yeah, it's up like
Yeah.
350, 400% in 18 years. But long story short, where's it going to go for the end of the year? I'd say the floor, always remember there is downside. The floor is probably 2,400,
Right.
2,350 conservatively. The upside potentially, conservatively 26, but I'd say more like 27, 28 by the end of the year, which is still significant. You're talking another 10% maybe for gold this year as a potential upside. So if you don't have any yet, and silver, look, if gold's up 10, silver's up 15. So if you don't have any yet, you still have an opportunity to get some and make a profit this year. But long-term thinking, you'll be fine. You'll be
Well,
fine.
yeah, and anything could happen next month, next 6, 7 months where banks collapse, U.S. dollar takes a massive hit, and then boom, gold could hit 3,000.
Well, US dollar is definitely going to continue trending down. That's
Right.
pretty clear. But look, bigger picture stuff, Middle East is on fire. Like
Yeah,
Middle East is on fire. There is so much tension there right now, more than is even being reported in the Western media, I think. We see it through the eyes of the US government and military, but there is so much more there to that story. And then Russia and Ukraine, look, Russia is escalating their attacks on the Ukraine. Ukraine is now infiltrating USSR Russian territory. So, this is powder keg. And then you've got Trump and Kamala Harris going head to head. So If Kamala Harris gets in, let me tell you, people are going to be going to gold. Like
For
conservative
sure.
Republicans will be moving their wealth out of the United States or into gold. Definitely, definitely.
Yeah, yeah, no, I heard some of her speeches. She just absolutely she's a wild one.
I look
She's a
forward to
little
the debate in a couple of weeks here.
yeah, I think Trump will absolutely win the debates. It's just like of course none of these presidents or like Kamala is really in control, you know? Like it's whoever's behind the
Mm.
curtains or military industrial complex or anything like that, banks, you know.
Or all of the above. I don't
Or
know.
all the
Yeah.
above. Awesome. Well, it's such a great pleasure having you come down, Mark. And you know, it's with precious metals right now is super interesting and it's really exciting times. So as the market develops, as always, we'd love to have you back on.
Thanks, Ivan. I appreciate the invitation. I'll always come back on. Thank you.
Awesome. Talk to you soon.